Good morning to all. Well, had a quiet President's Day yesterday. Today, everything's up and running, I would say. It's very cold where I'm at here in eastern Iowa. That's all I'm going to say where I'm from. But anyway, the whole town has been pretty quiet and everything. And I have to admit, I can't complain. I noticed that a lot of people around here, see the South Hill where I live as in the southern part of town, as it's a very large neighborhood, and of course we have an elementary school. We have for the neighbor kids and everything from grades kindergarten through fourth. But to tell you the truth, there's also a middle school that's like further southwest of, in this town. And then there's a high school in the middle part of town, everything. Well, there's two middle schools. There's one on the north end of town, and then there's one on the southwest part of town and everything. One thing people don't understand about South Hill people is that we are kind people. And there's a lot of retirees. Some of them are raising their grandkids for some reason. Others are just having family take care of them. And home health care aides and everything. Like nurses, medication aides, bath aides, stuff like that. That can help you out quite a bit. But anyway, my mom and my dad have recently passed away. They were cremated. My dad, he lived in Arizona, but my stepmom took care of him, along with a hospice nurse and everything. So that was very helpful for the last 5 months of his life. He died of end-stage diabetes. He had type 1.5 diabetes. It comes later in life. It's type 1 diabetes, but comes later in life. It's like a cross between a 1 and a 2. My mom, she died my dad was 80 years old, so he had a long life. My mom, she was 72 and she died of congestive heart failure here in Iowa and everything, in eastern Iowa. But she was in a nursing home and everything. She was not doing very well, but she got good care though at the end of her life. It kept her as comfortable as possible, is all I have to say. My home is my home, and I can't complain. I love my home. I love my dog. I love my husband very much. And I enjoy what I enjoy. But, to tell you the truth, I've noticed one thing about South Hillers is that we have kind hearts. We are the kindest people. We're very charitable. Some are Christians, some are of other religions, but we are very kind and charitable. We are honest with other people and everything. And we ask to be, not to be sitting there falsely accusing us of stuff we may not have ever done, to tell you the truth. And let things be and everything. Right now, the smart thing to do is for everybody around here to just go about our own business like we normally do. We have our pets, we have our homes, and we are honest. Some people go to church every Sunday, some people don't. And so on and so forth. It's not, fair to other people and so on and so forth. To, if they're in the hospital for some reason, whether they have given birth or they need to have surgery from an accident or they became very ill due to a medical condition and they would be in the hospital for a few days and they might have had to miss church, I think churches will be very understanding and say, well, keep them in your prayers. That's all they can do. Or if someone's getting ready to pass, cut them some slack. It doesn't matter anymore if they're at home on hospice care. Let them go in peace. It's okay to have a pastor come in and give them their last rites when the time comes and everything. But it happens. Some people are just at the end. I had a next door neighbor years ago who had lung cancer that spread. And in the last months of his life, yes, he did receive good hospice care and everything. He didn't not have very much time left, but we kept him as comfortable as possible at home. And that's the way I would like to go. I like to go at home. I'm taking good care of myself. I don't smoke. I don't vape. I don't do drugs. I have 1 drink a week at the most. And there's some weeks I might skip because maybe I'm not feeling well, or I'm just don't feel like I need to, just not in the mood or anything like that. That's okay. That's A-okay if you don't want to have a drink. But if you want to have a drink or two, like if you're out at a party or celebrating something like a birthday or anniversary or a holiday, that's fine. It's okay. Just be careful, you know. Or if you had too much to drink, don't drive. Just, if you're close to your home and you feel it's safe to walk, but walk with somebody. If not, you can always call an Uber or a cab to come get you. It's better just to pay a cab. The cops will just leave you alone, saying, okay, they're just going to a cab. They're going to go in their cab. It's okay. And everything. Monsoon is being a good boy. I'm happy with where I live. You know, I can't complain. But yes, there are times where I feel like, you know, that the rest of the town is sometimes unfairly judges me and my neighbors and I. When a lot of us are of Irish descent or of African descent, and of course, we were the early slaves we were the original Irish ones were the first original slaves of this country. Then came along the African slaves of this country. But some of us were treated well, some of us were not. Our ancestors were. I kind of think that it was just one of those things. It happens. It happens to a lot of good people. That people sometimes are falsely accused or being washed over stuff they didn't do. And everything else. You know, I like where I live. You know, I get along with my neighbors in general. I mean, I just go about my business. They go about theirs. They understand that I have to clean. I have to cook. I have to do laundry. I have to take care of the dog. I have a lot to do, and that's okay. That's all I want to do right now is just go about my business and not bother a single soul. Because at night, you're not going to hear a peep out of me. I'll be asleep, sound asleep in bed next to my husband. And my dog usually sleeps down here on the sofa, and that's fine by me. I'm okay with that and everything. I don't cause any problems at all. I mean, this morning, since we're usually on a Monday route, but since there was a big political holiday, President's Day, we didn't not have trash or mail, but everything will resume today. So we had our trash picked up yesterday evening. I mean today, but yesterday evening we had to set our trash carts out, neighbors and I, on my block, and wait for the trash to get picked up in the morning. But we don't make any noise at all. We don't bother anybody. I mean, I sometimes, you know, there was one time I had this crazy dream. And I thought to myself, how crazy, that there was a lot of that people that were driving red Grand Ams were being accused of going into this one apartment building across town, which none of us here know anybody from that place, and we don't go over there and everything. We don't go over, you know, it's there because there's just no reason for us to go over there if we don't know anybody there. And there was a shootout and everything of the office and of some homes over there, which I thought, oh my. Well, the next day, we didn't know anything about. Next day, I had cops banging on my door, and I was busy spring cleaning, but the whole night I was home the whole time. The only time I was outside was in my backyard to let the dog out to go to the bathroom, but that was it. You know, just like any other neighbor would do with their pets. Let their pets out in the backyard for bathroom breaks. And then after that, they would just go back to bed for the rest of the night. But to tell you the truth, here it happened at midnight. Well, I had gone to bed around 10 o'clock that Saturday evening, and I was right in bed next to Nathan. The only time I got up was at 3 to let the dog out, so he would have a bathroom break and everything. And then I would go inside and use the bathroom myself and then go back to bed. Well, anyway, the police had the nerve to accuse me of something I didn't do, and then the only thing I was doing was just cleaning up the house. The whole time I was, up and around and everything. And I just took out, some trash, as usual, over at the shed, which is several feet from the back door and everything. Well, anyway, the police, of course, they were just, asking me. I said, no, I was home all night. I said, I even have neighbors next door who can vouch for me, which I was home all night. And they said, according to her yard, the only time she went outside was at 3 o'clock in the morning to let her dog out. But that was it. That's all I see. Then she went back in, and that was it for the night. They looked at all the footage and said, well, she's clean and clear. They looked and said, nothing at all. And, all I was doing was cleaning up the house one fine Sunday morning because I had a wild hair in my butt to do so and everything. Hello, Pooch. You want some pets? But anyway, what happened after that? No. Thank goodness it was just a bad dream. I woke up, I thought, well, I don't know anybody there, and I have no business over there. So I'm just going to leave that place alone and everything. So that's all that happened, and with an ironclad alibi, eliminated the motive. It turned out it was some people from a town in the next county that came into my hometown, which had stirred up some problems in this one apartment complex because they were mad at some of the people there, but they weren't mad at us South Hillers because we just stay in our own hometown, work in our hometown, mind our own darn business, and eat a good, and take care of our households. That's all we do, is work and just tend to our own households. Is all we ever done anyway. But anyway, it was just a bad dream. I woke up and thought, what was that all about? When I looked it up, I think what it is I don't like being falsely, my neighbors and I don't like being falsely accused is what it is. That's how I feel deep down. Like, don't falsely accuse us when we may not have a lot of money, but we're average, everyday, ordinary people who have done very good things in the past. It's all in the past. It's just a faded memory now for a lot of us, but it doesn't matter anymore. But anyway, time has a way of fading things, but nobody's saying too much. Well, that's all I have to say for now. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye.